what it is, what it was, what it is, what it does. It's your boy Lean Trucker, back with another.
Why you sleeping on us? Why you sleeping on us? No cap, we gon' have to make them believe us.
By the way, it's a little gym bag. Got some water, finishing off my gallon of water. But anyway, welcome in. For those of you who are new, feel free, if you like this type of content, trucking and fitness, all that good stuff in between, subscribe, share, like the comment, like the video, comment down below if you got anything that you want to see, got any questions, any of that stuff going forward. Today's video is going to be about factoring. I've been getting questions on that. You know, if you're ever going to become a owner, well, not an owner operator, I'm sorry, it applies, but if you're ever going to have your own authority, you definitely need to know about factoring companies, how they work, because I've been getting different questions from, can you use more than one factoring company? Are there contracts involved? How do you get, if there are some, get out of it, percentages, how much they charge? How do, you know, just how does all that entire, you know, process work? So that's what I'm going to be talking about here in today's video. I got my gym bag and stuff because, well, I'm gonna go to the gym. And so yeah, I'll show y'all just basically my workout, whatever I'm doing here, but I'm going to talk over it about one more thing before I get out of here, out this truck that is, get on in the gym, is that follow me on my social media if you happen to care what I'm doing more on a day-to-day basis. What am I eating? Some of the tips and tricks I'm doing as far as you know, trying to maintain shape, all that good stuff. Because on my social media, Facebook, Lean Trucker, Instagram, The Lean Trucker, THE. My website, in case you just want to buy that, support your boy, keep it in mind. Yeah. no, in all seriousness, that's theleantrucker.com. To my latest subscribers, thank you. I will put you at the bottom of the scroll as we continue on, like I always like to do, to just show appreciation and saying thank you in the little way that I can. Let's get in this gym. All right, guys, as you can see, in the title, this video is about factoring. What is a factoring company? What's the purpose of them? How do they work? And, you know, what if you don't really want to use one? You got that. And as you can see in the background here as well, I'll be just showing clips of my workout. This is, I don't remember, I got 4 full body days that I have scheduled on my deal, but I've typically been doing 3 of them, and this one of the 4. Right? So full body is essentially working just kind of how it sounds. You work your entire body, and everybody structures that different. This is not necessarily about the exercise video. I can make one of those if you guys are interested in that. This is, like I said, about factoring. Okay, what is a factoring company? A factoring company is a go-between as far as you not having to wait to get your money to get paid from between an owner operator and a broker slash shipper. You know, even if you working direct. Industry standards are they will pay you within 30 days. Well, yeah, it's within 30 days, but a 30-day net. And trust and believe, some of them take 30 days. The longer they can hold that off, they will. And you have some that actually take, you know, 60, 90, and I get into that as well. So that's what a factoring company is, and that's what the purpose is. And I guess I did just discuss what they are as well and how they work. Okay, they take on that responsibility of that wait time. Okay, they will pay you depending on the factoring companies. They're all different in ways, as far as some pay you same day, some pay you the very next day, depending on, you know, as long as you beat their cutoff time. They all got their own different cutoff times. So essentially you looking at usually next day pay at worst. Well, for that convenience, that's where they get their money in. They charging you a fee. That fee also varies. It varies based on volume for most of them. And again, I'm generalizing because, you know, not all of them None of them are the same, really. But the concept of how they work is the same, but none of them are the same. So the more money that you can bring in every month, the stronger your negotiating, your ability to negotiate is. And so you can get it, I've heard, I don't know myself, but I heard you can get it as low as 1%. At that point, I mean, I think the number that I remember, and I'm saying this because I think it was in a contract that I signed, you would have to bring in like 100,000 a month or something. You pretty much gotta be making $1 million to negotiate down to that 1% with that specific company anyway. But yeah, generally, you're looking at 3 to 5%. You got some of them out here that they will get you if you let them. I know one, if I have time and a chance, I will discuss that actually it's 5%, but then they take 10% off the top. I'll discuss that later if I can. So, but yeah, so basically that's what a factory company is. That's how they operate. And what you need to know about them is you need to know things like understand that most of them is contract based. Okay, they will lock you in a contract for a year. That's why you got to really do your research. If you ever gonna get into this market, reach out to some fellow YouTubers, ask questions, because if you just jump out here like I did, I started out with 5%. But other guys who knew some guys, they started out with 3%. You know, so definitely reach out to people. You know, do your homework, ask around. Don't just go to the first one smoking. That's what I did. They were local, and I thought that would be easier and better, and it wasn't. There was really no benefit. But yeah, so with these contracts though, okay, if you're gonna do a contract, obviously, if you do a contract, you're gonna get a better rate, okay? Because what that means is you're tied into them, and within that contract, for the sake of this conversation, let's just say it's 3%. With 3%, you know, for every load they're gonna take 3% off the top. Okay, you need to be aware of something called recourse and non-recourse. Okay, what the difference between those two is the ability for that factoring company to come back and get their money back if they don't get paid. Yeah, you heard that right. They don't get paid, they have the ability to come back and take their money. That is called recourse. Okay, so if you sign a contract that has recourse in it, just know they always have that opportunity to come back and take your money. Non-recourse means no, they don't have the ability to come back and take your money. That's very important. I literally got like that. That's how I learned. Again, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know any of this information. At that time, I wasn't even watching trucking YouTube. I didn't know it existed. I was watching more fitness videos, boxing, you know, stuff like that. I really wasn't watching trucking videos, and so I wish I was, because I would have learned from that. What else is in there? So there's recourse, non-recourse. You have, then their contract. So check this out. You also have to, they're gonna ask you about that minimum that you expect to hit, okay, per month. And if you don't hit that minimum, this the contracts. If you don't hit that minimum, they will cut you loose. It's like an NFL team. In the NFL team, the contracts are not guaranteed. They one-way contracts. If you feel like, it's like the player who feels like they're not, you know, the team not living up to the obligation, they say, I want out of here, they don't got that option. Same way with you. You won't have that option. But yeah, them, they can cut you. I got cut, right? I had to make the team. Because what I started doing was, I negotiated, you know, the rate and all that stuff as I should have. But then I started deciding that I didn't want to pay them. I want to wait on my money. So I wasn't using them. And they didn't tell me, by the way, that that was part of the deal. That if I didn't meet the number that they asked me, that I was projected that I think I would hit every month, that they had the ability to cut me. So out of nowhere, I get this email that says, sir, you have been released from your contract. And I was like, really? Okay, so yeah, I had to get another one. And what I end up doing, I end up going to one that charged me a little more was at 3.5%, but it was no contract. Okay, so no contract, non-recourse. It's basically a month-to-month basis. Only thing they require is that I give them a 30 days notice that, hey, you know, I'm good on y'all, not using y'all, and we're done. That's it. So I felt it was worth the, you know, extra percent, half percent, shall I say, to put myself in that situation. But yeah, if I could get, you know, maybe 2%, maybe, you know, have a little different thought about that. But that's what that is. Another thing, now within these, you gotta make sure you're on it. Now when I say you're on it, your BOL, proof of delivery. BOL, proof of delivery, POD. BOL stands for bill of lading, for those of you who didn't know. But basically all that is your paperwork that you get signed by the receiver. And if it says one of 2 pages, you better have both pages. It don't matter if the second page is blank. If it says one of 2 or 2 of 2, whatever it is, right? You better have all those pages. Because if you don't, the factoring company gonna come back and say, sorry, bud, can't cover that one. You don't got all the BOLs. They're covering their bases. I'm gonna use that word. They're covering themselves is what they're doing. So it's just straight business. Make sure you keep that in mind, because you do not want that problem. Another important thing to note is that once you have that contract with them, let's just say for the sake of this conversation, there's different ones out here. I'll just use RTS. I use RTS and Truck Stop. They got their own factoring company as well. So if you in a contract with RTS, you do not have the ability to use Truck Stop factoring. Okay, so basically you cannot use more than one factoring company at a time. Another thing that's in there. Okay, let's use a let me see, TQL. That's a big broker out here that a lot of guys would know. Okay, so if you use your factoring company is RTS, and you would use them to factor a load with TQL. Okay, so if you do that, once you do that one time, you are now obligated to use them every time. So I hope this is making sense. So on the reverse end, okay, let's say that you're working with TQL for the very first time. If you're working with them then, and you decide to use a quick pay program, because you're gonna get paid just as fast, and you'll get, 2% instead of that 3%. You can do that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, once you use that factoring company for said broker, then you are obligated by contract to continue to use them, unless you get something that's called a release letter, which, trust and believe, they ain't trying to give that to you. So yeah, that's basically what the factoring company is. That's kind of like the whole of it. Now I'm going to get into, before I get into should you use one and what do you do if you don't want to use one, I'm going to go ahead and tell that quick little story on that factoring company that's here in the DFW area. So that factoring company, they take 10% up front, but then they hold 5% and with the promise to give it to you within 30 days, as long as the broker pay within 30 days. Do not do a contract like that. There was a lot of people that I knew. Well, when I say a lot, I'm gonna say at least like 7 or 8 that I knew that was in that kind of deal, including a very, very good friend of mine. I didn't get the allure. I didn't know why they wanted to do that, why they thought it was a good idea. But yes, they take 10 up front, give you 5%, like, that next day pay. You get 5% off. They take their 5%, and then yeah, if that customer or broker goes past 30 days, what happens is they start chipping into your money. Okay, so that 5% becomes 4%. Oh, I'm sorry. Becomes I'm sorry. Yeah, that 5% that they would give you would now go 4%, 3%, and so on. So yeah, that's a bad deal. At least I don't agree with it. Each his own. Should you use a factoring company? My opinion is yes, you should. It's very, it has a lot to do with though, your how much do you need the money? Can you afford to wait? Those type of things. But I believe you should use one just because there are some of these people who don't pay. If you have a factoring company, you go to their credit check, you literally got some that's on the no pay list because they don't pay. And if they do pay, they may, like I said, 6 months. I know it sounds extreme, but you have some of that issue. So I would say, is it really worth taking that risk to save 3%, you know, of your money? I say no. Let them deal with it so you can move on. And you just gotta, you know, not to worry about that. They won't be your problem. The only option is if you don't want to use one, it's simply what I just said. You just wait. That's it. You work directly with them. You invoice that broker or that shipper, and you just wait until your money come in. That's it, guys. It's just straightforward and simple. You know, so yeah, that's why I say I probably would use a factoring company. As y'all can see, I am now back. I was just thinking about something on the way back to the truck. I actually just made a video called, I'll link it in here somewhere. I don't even know what I titled it, but it's something about trying how to, as a trucker, find balance between trucking and home life. You know, we all have that battle. That's why I was stating in that video, no matter whether you're local, regional, OTR, we all have that battle somewhere. But this is actually, bringing this up, and made me think about this because this is a good example. So typically I would like to, after this, go do some form of cardio, whether it was treadmill or go down here and hit my bike trail. But don't have time to do that because my son, need to holler at my son, we need to chit chat. And I got to get up early in the morning to get back on the road. So it's like, that's what I mean by finding that balance. What I would like to do is go do what I would like to do as far as that part goes, but then you still gotta, you know what I'm saying, balance that time. So I'm not complaining about that. It's all good. I'm just saying that's a part of it. Another thing I wanted to share was, ideally, I would like to work out 3 to 4 times a week, but be active 6 times a week. Don't always work. Some people consider the gym is active. If that's the way you consider it, that's fine. But me, I want it to be, like I said, some form of cardio as part of the activity. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from this. Because again, that's the main reason, okay? If you did, your first time watching, subscribe. If you've already subscribed, hit that notification bell so you know when I drop one of these videos. Thank you for taking out your time to watch, because you could have been doing anything in the world, but yet you watch little old me. Yep, appreciate you. Keep it in mind, stay on the grind, one day at a time. Salute.